right, I'm standing next to my buddy Jim Zabel here at the Jim Zabel Room at the Clear Channel Radio offices in Des Moines, Iowa, getting ready to go up and do sound off with the legend Jim Zabel. And I'm sure if he were here right now for this video, he'd say three things, and I love it, I love it, I love it. Iowa 27, Arizona 17. We saw a little bit of the past today and hopefully signs for the future. In 2002, the University of Iowa played against Miami. That game was on the road with the offensive line that day, plowed the way late in the game for a time-consuming drive that basically held off any threat that the Redhawks would have on Iowa that day. Iowa's last touchdown drive of this game, I believe it was a 14-play, 8.5-minute long, 74-yard drive. That was something very, very special. Rick Stanzi looked very sharp on that drive. Trey Strauss, it's nice when he's healthy. Alan Reisner had a great game today. I can't remember if he was involved in that drive or not, but Rick Stanzi taking a timeout on that drive because he didn't like the play that was called against the blitz that Arizona was showing. That's the kind of drive that you remember from seasons decades away from that season having been completed. If this is a special year for Iowa, that's a drive that I think we look back on and recall just because of what it meant. That was power running game. That was huge conversions through the air on third down. It was good Ricky in the second half. After the first half, we had a little bad Ricky again in this game. Rick Stanzi, 20 of 32 in the day for 205 yards. Arizona 17 points. 7 of them came by pick six. Stanzi intercepted early on after Iowa had marched down the field. It was a 10 or 12 play drive early on. That looked old school and great, the way that Iowa used to do things back in 2002, maybe even a little bit last year, having long drives, marching down the field to open up games. Iowa on the day, great in third down conversions. I think they had 9 or 10 out of 18 or so. No matter what the number is, it was a very, very good percentage. Arizona, just 2 of 12 on third down conversions. Again, old school Iowa defense. Adrian Claiborne played the best game of his career. One of the most impressive plays I've seen in years by any Iowa defensive player was Arizona's talented running back Nick Grigsby, who came into this game averaging 162.5 yards rushing per game. He was running down the right side of the line of scrimmage, trying to get to the outside. Old number 94 is chasing him down from behind. When Adrian Claiborne prepares to play in the NFL, and hopefully that's a year from now, not this coming year, the way he's played today, who knows, that's going to be on his highlight tape to the NFL to showcase his speed. He did that not just once, but twice. The Iowa defensive line played today that we've seen them play in many of the Norm Parker years. I don't think it's a coincidence they played that way going up against an offense that was more, I wouldn't call it pro style, but more prototypical offense. It wasn't this newfangled spread offense that Iowa had played in the first 2 weeks. The good news there is that gives good preparation for Penn State again next week, who isn't really having success running the ball. I don't care what they did against Temple today. Temple stinks. That is not a good offense. It's not a top 10 football team. I'm telling you that right now. Now, next week, under the lights, a whiteout, 7 p.m., national television audience on ABC. The spotlight is on Iowa. It's their chance next week against Penn State to vault themselves back into the national spotlight, the national football psyche, and potentially put themselves on the road to a possible special season. Hey, even if they lose next week, this could be a really good season by what's going on around the rest of the Big Ten Conference. But today was a great step towards that direction. Iowa 3-0, stair-step competition of opponents, although I think UNI is a better team than Iowa State, at least in September at this point in time. Arizona is a good football team, except quarterback play reared its head today. When Stanzi played well, that was a big difference in this game, again, the Iowa defense. But Arizona did not have quarterback play even close to matching up to what Iowa's defense. Iowa's coverage in the secondary, so much of the defensive line success today was because of the way Iowa was covering back behind them. It was one of the best coverage games Iowa's had in a long time. But again, Scott, not the greatest thrower for Arizona. Next week when Iowa plays Penn State, Darrell Clark, he may be the best quarterback in the Big Ten, or the best quarterback that Iowa will see all season long. So the Hawks, 3-0 and in the books, getting ready for a week-long preparation of Happy Valley, and this team can still get better. You've heard me say that the last 2 weeks. I believe it offensively, defensively. Offensively, Balaga, Moyaki, and DJK. Are there 3 better players on Iowa's offense than those 3 players? Maybe not. None of those guys played today. Iowa has to feel really good about things. We'll talk more about Penn State as the week goes on. Take care.